The Counter-Strike 2 limited test is really starting to ramp up. After what felt like ages of just non-stop Dust 2 has evolved into a new host of maps and features. But with every new update comes a new set of bugs and glitches. And honestly, they're as funny as they are intriguing. But the question still remains, is the game actually getting better? And are we going to get our hands on it sometime this summer? Well, to get a better idea of what's going on, I spoke with CS2's greatest beta tester. Alrighty folks, before we get into it, I wanted to let you all know that we have a brand new episode of Into the Dark coming out this weekend. We've made Into the Dark in partnership with Crack and Rum. It's a unique dive into the incredible stories behind gaming's biggest protagonists as they took a leap into the unknown and emerged victorious, with this newest episode focusing on Prey's infamous Ash Arrow at Worlds 2016. Check out the link below. Now, before we even start, I need to preface this video because I already know you are in the comments. Yes, I know, the entire point of a beta is to stress test the servers and find bugs. I get it. But Counter-Strike 2 is not your usual game. It's a goddamn worldwide phenomenon, and every inch of this beta needs to be dissected. I also have nothing better to do, so allow it. Anyway, if you're like me and you love seeing how video games are made, when you heard that CS2 was going to have its own limited test, you would have been ecstatic. And a bit surprised. Sure, CSGO had its own beta back in 2012, but you have to admit that the internet is a lot different now than it was back then. So Valve, a notoriously tight-lipped company, giving access to people to not only watch but participate in the sausage being made was a bold choice. Especially given the state the game was in. Because at first, it wasn't exactly pretty. I mean, visually the game was looking great, but there were a ton of crazy-ass bugs that came with it.
Oh my god, whoa, whoa, whoa! What the f***? My s***'s on fire! ¿Qué hizo?
So wait, do I press E? Wait, oh, I did it! I did it!
What'd you do?
It just said at the bottom of my screen when I died, you picked up an AK red line. Wait, let's see if I have an AK red line. Yep!
However, flaming knives and automatic scouts were just the tip of the iceberg. As the beta went on, the bugs only got more bizarre.
I swear to God, if this crashes my shit.
Go cat.
What? Wait! No! We can't tell anybody about this. What is this? I'm cheating! The command works, what?
Now this one in particular raised a lot of eyebrows and even sparked some conspiracy theories. Some thought that allowing players to turn on wall hacks was Valve's way of sussing out potential hackers. In reality, it was probably just a dev tool that they forgot to remove, but nevertheless, it was very funny and you don't see that in betas every day. But all of these silly bugs weren't that big of a deal. They're easily fixable and, honestly speaking, Valve had bigger problems on their hands. There were some serious issues that sparked concern amongst playtesters and diehard fans of the franchise. So I sat down and had a chat with NA content creator Jojo, who had been grinding the beta more than anyone else I can think of. And although he was enjoying himself, he expressed that there were fundamental aspects of the game that just didn't feel right.
If you have high ping, it feels really bad. Like the interp settings or the netcode or something still feels kind of bad, which is like worrisome because that's a pretty like important thing. I don't know, it's a massive reason why I still play the game. Like the movement of CS is just like unmatched. I think bunny hopping is still not as good as it like is supposed to be. Like it's still like super inconsistent to hit B hops. I think everyone I've talked to would like say the same.
Jojo wasn't the only one either. Eventually, people started getting bored and dissatisfied with the limited test, and to be fair, there's only so much Dust 2 one can take. But on top of all that, the bugs, movement issues, and latency problems weren't giving people a reason to stick around. And without any assurance from Valve that things were going to get better, people, like myself, feared that maybe CS2 wasn't even close to being done. However, after 2 months of radio silence, the CS2 beta finally started getting updates. On top of the host of new features and bug fixes, Dust 2 was finally gone, and players were given a chance to test out Mirage. But with a new map came a lot more problems. And let's just say, our pal Jojo, grinding nonstop as usual, God bless him, unintentionally became the master of pushing CS2 to its breaking point.
Clip this also. Clip this also. There we go.
I suck, bro. What is me, man? Your vision's really good here.
I'm smoked off.
Is that a smoke?
My vision is really good as pro.
Now, although JoJo won't take credit for discovering these bugs, I will argue that he is the one to perfect them. Whether he was terrorizing people from the skies or underneath the f***ing floors, JoJo's viral clips were doing wonders at highlighting the evolution of CS2. And as his experiences with the game continued, JoJo didn't just find the clips funny. He started to want to know why they were happening.
The wall bangs on Dust 2 were like the first thing I like found that was just kind of broken. Like you could just wall bang, like basically it ignores like the last object it's going through. It only counts like the starting material. So if you start wall banging like a wood pillar and then there's a concrete wall behind it, it'll just ignore the concrete wall. So it'll only count as wall banging a wood pillar, which is still happens on Nuke.
And since Counter-Strike 2 is not your average game, as his experiences with the beta continued, the bugs weren't just funny. He, just like the rest of us, wanted to know why the hell they were happening. Now, with the update that brought us Nuke, a ton of these silly glitches were obviously solved. That being said, Valve hasn't fully solved the whole wallbang issue yet, and once again, a new map brings new issues. New issues that JoJo and other CS diehards are going to find out and show to the world. It's just unclear whether Valve appreciates all the effort or not.
It's kind of weird. They did, in the Dust 2 part of the beta, they followed me, which I thought was really cool, but then they unfollowed me.
But once again, all of these bizarre bugs are just the growing pains of making a game. If you've ever participated in a beta before, you'd know. The important question is if those fundamentals, movement, latency, etc., are actually getting better, and if each new update is bringing us closer to a full launch this summer.
I was super worried that it was just they would not care about making the movement as good as CSGO, but it does seem like they do care, because they're still trying to like tweak it and figure it out. Them releasing in the summer, I'd say it's probably like a 40%. Like it's possible, but we haven't even tested like half the maps yet of like active duty maps. And I just don't think that's happening by the summer.
Now, whether or not you think Valve is going to miss yet another projected release date is a moot point. We actually have no idea how far along they are in this process. Who knows? What we're getting could only be a fraction of what they already have prepared. Maybe Valve time is in full effect. But you can't deny that this entire beta experience, whether you participated in it firsthand or vicariously, has been very interesting. Valve has been communicating more in the last 4 months than they have in the last 20 years. Sure, it's mostly memes from The Office and patch notes, but still, this is very different behavior than what we're used to. They're actually active and seemingly listening. As I said, the Counter-Strike franchise has had betas in the past, but never this viral. And it's not like CSGO ever had any public test servers. Every update Valve has gets QA'd by themselves internally. But now, even the smallest change is dissected in real time by the whole community. Listen, maybe I'm being a bit overly sentimental, but it kind of feels like we're all participating in the creation of Counter-Strike's next era, even if most of us can't actually play it. This JoJo guy deserves a service medal from Valve. Not only finding the bugs, but even grinding the beta back when it was just Dust 2 for like 2 months, 15 hours a day. This kid's crazy. He deserves to be on their payroll, but instead they like unfollowed him and are saying they're gonna revoke his account and give it to Cooper.